Picture this, you're at your local Christian bookstore, you spot a cute little book with vibrant colors and intricate designs, you think, hey, this could be a fun coloring book for my niece. You pick it up, excited for the joy it'll bring, only to flip it open and find IT quote S, a theological study guide. That's right, no pretty princesses or brave knights to color in here, just deep, thought-provoking questions about God and the universe. Talk about a colorful mix-up. This anecdote paints a picture of a common misconception about theology. Many think it's all lofty concepts and academic jargon, like finding a study guide when you're expecting a coloring book. But in reality, theology is far from being a dusty, scholarly pursuit reserved for the seminary nerds. It's an exciting exploration into understanding God, His nature, and His works. It's about delving into the mysteries of faith and applying it to our everyday lives. It's about seeing the world through God's eyes and understanding how we fit into His grand design. In this episode, we're going to debunk some myths about theology and show you why it's not just for the scholars, but for every Christian. We'll explain how understanding theology can impact your personal spiritual growth and equip you to answer life's big questions. We'll also dive into why theology is your armor against modern confusion, helping you navigate the challenges of misinformation and conflicting ideologies. And we'll break down some key theological concepts every Christian should know, in a way that's easy to understand and relevant to your daily life. So buckle up as we embark on this journey of discovery together. And don't worry, we promise it won't be as dry as that theology study guide you accidentally picked up at the bookstore. Who knows, you might even find it more exciting than a coloring book. So let's dive in, shall we? And remember, no coloring pencils needed. Raise your hand if you've ever pictured a theologian as an old man with a long white beard, buried in dusty books. Yep, I see those hands. But let's clear the air here. Theology isn't just for seminary nerds. It's not just for the bespectacled folks who live in libraries and speak in ancient tongues. No, my friends, theology is for everyone. And yes, that includes you and me. So what is theology? Well, in its simplest form, theology is the study of God. It's about understanding His nature, His attributes, His works, and His will. It's about exploring the great mysteries of the faith and seeking to understand the mind of God. Sounds intimidating? Well, it shouldn't be. You see, theology isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. It's about seeking, knocking, and finding. It's about a journey of discovery. And here's a little secret. Theology isn't irrelevant. It's not a dusty academic pursuit reserved for scholars. It's as relevant as it gets. Because you know what? Understanding God is the key to understanding life. It's the key to understanding ourselves. It's the key to navigating this crazy, confusing, and often chaotic world. So how does theology impact our personal spiritual growth? Well, imagine trying to build a relationship with someone you know nothing about. Sounds pretty difficult, right? In the same way, how can we grow in our relationship with God if we don't know anything about Him? That's where theology comes in. It helps us understand who God is, what He's done, and what He promises to do. It helps us understand His love, His grace, and His mercy. And as we grow in our understanding of God, we grow in our love for Him. But theology doesn't just impact our personal spiritual growth, it also helps us answer life's big questions. Questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of life? What's the meaning of suffering? Where do I find hope? Theology doesn't promise easy answers to these questions, but it does provide a framework for finding answers. It provides a lens through which we can view the world, and it provides a compass to guide us in our journey through life. So, next time you picture a theologian, just look in the mirror. You see, we're all theologians in a way. Every time we think about God, every time we try to understand His ways, every time we wrestle with questions of faith, we're doing theology. And that's a beautiful thing, because theology isn't just about knowledge, it's about relationship. It's about love, it's about faith. So go ahead, dive into theology. Don't be scared, don't be intimidated. Embrace the journey, embrace the mystery, embrace the adventure. And remember, theology isn't just for seminary nerds. It's for every Christian who wants to know God more, love Him more, and live for Him more. It's for every Christian who wants to grow in faith, hope, and love. It's for every Christian who wants to shine a light in the darkness. It's for you, it's for me, it's for all of us. Because in the end, theology isn't just about studying God, it's about living for Him. And that's something we can all get behind. And that, my friends, is why theology is not only for the seminary nerds, it's for everyone who seeks to understand God and His purpose for us. So, whether you're a seasoned Bible scholar or a newbie in the faith, Remember this: theology is your friend, guiding you on your journey towards understanding and growing in God's love. In a world where we're looking for answers in horoscopes, cat videos, and the bottom of a Ben & Jerry's tub, theology might just be our superhero cape. Let's face it, we live in a world where distractions are plenty. We're constantly bombarded by a flurry of information, some relevant, some not so much. In our quest to find meaning and direction, we sometimes find ourselves turning to the funny section of the newspaper, or even worse, those pesky horoscopes. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd rather not base my life decisions on the supposed alignment of celestial bodies. Instead, let's turn our attention to something a little more solid, a little less open to interpretation: Christian theology. You may be thinking, oh great, just what I need, more confusion. But bear with me here. Christian theology isn't about adding to the noise, it's about cutting through it. In this age of information overload, it's easy to get swept up in the whirlwind of conflicting ideas and ideologies. One moment we're told that all religions lead to the same God. The next, we're told that there is no God. And then, there's the ever-present claim that science and faith are incompatible. It's enough to give anyone a spiritual whiplash. This is where theology comes to our rescue. Theology is like the compass in this stormy sea of information, steering us towards truth and away from confusion. It lays out the fundamental truths about God, about us, about the world, and about our relationship with God. It provides a framework within which we can make sense of our faith and our world. But, you might say, I'm not a theologian, I don't have a PhD in divinity, how am I supposed to understand all this complex stuff? Well, the beauty of Christian theology is that it's not just for the academics. It's for everyone. It's for the new believer who's just starting their faith journey. It's for the seasoned Christian who's been walking with God for decades. It's for the skeptic who's grappling with doubts. It's for the seeker who's trying to make sense of Christianity. Now, I'm not saying that theology is easy, it's not. It's challenging, it's complex, and at times it's downright confusing. But it's also rewarding. It's like a treasure hunt. The more you dig into it, the more gems you uncover. The more you study it, the more you understand God, yourself, and the world around you. It's also practical. Yes, you heard me right. Theology is practical. It's not just about highfalutin concepts and abstract ideas. It's about real-world issues. It's about understanding why we believe what we believe and how those beliefs affect our lives. It's about equipping ourselves with the knowledge and understanding to engage with the world around us, to answer tough questions, to stand firm in our faith amid challenges, and to share our faith with others. So in the end, theology isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge. It's about living out our faith in a way that's informed and intentional. It's about becoming better Christians, better witnesses, and better servants of God. So swap that horoscope for a Bible, folks. Your future self will thank you. Pop quiz time. What's hypostatic union? No, it's not a new boy band. It's actually a key concept in Christian theology. Don't worry, we're not turning this into a trivia night. We're just warming up for a deep dive into theological basics every Christian should know. Now, some of you might be thinking, theology sounds like the stuffy old textbooks I left behind in school. But trust me, it's much more than that. It's about understanding the nature of God and His relationship with the world. It's like piecing together a divine puzzle. And who doesn't love a good puzzle, right? First on our list is the Trinity. Now, don't let your eyes glaze over just yet. The Trinity is simply the belief that God exists as three persons, but is one being. It's like a 3-in-1 shampoo, but infinitely more profound. God is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, all at once. It's a divine mystery that's not meant to be fully comprehended, but rather marveled at. Next up, we tackle Christology, the study of Christ. It's all about understanding who Jesus is, His nature, and His role in the grand scheme of things. It's like trying to understand your favorite superhero. Only this time, the hero has divine powers and saves not just the world, but souls. In Christology, we delve into concepts like the Incarnation, where God became man in the form of Jesus. It's like the ultimate undercover mission, where the Creator becomes part of the creation. Then we have soteriology, the study of salvation. Now, this isn't about finding the nearest exit during a fire drill. It's about understanding how we, as humans, are saved from sin and its consequences. It's like deciphering the ultimate escape plan, only this time, the stakes are eternal. In soteriology, we learn about grace, faith, and how Jesus' sacrifice on the cross provides a path to salvation. It's like the most important get-out-of-jail-free card you'll ever come across. Now, you might be wondering why these theological basics matter. Why should you care about the Trinity, Christology, or soteriology? Well, these concepts provide the foundation for our Christian beliefs and practices. They're like the roots of a tree, grounding us and providing the nourishment we need to grow in our faith. Understanding the Trinity helps us comprehend the multidimensional nature of God and His omnipresence in our lives. It's like knowing you're never alone because God is always there, in three different yet unified forms. Grasping Christology deepens our relationship with Jesus, allowing us to appreciate His dual nature as both divine and human. It's like getting to know a friend on a much deeper level, realizing they have facets you never knew existed. And finally, understanding soteriology offers us clarity on our path to salvation. It's like having a GPS for our spiritual journey, guiding us towards our eternal destination. So, theology isn't just for scholars or seminary nerds, it's for everyone who wants to deepen their understanding of God and His grand design. It's not about memorizing complex terms or acing a theological test. It's about enriching your faith, answering life's big questions, and navigating your spiritual journey with confidence. And no, you won't be tested on these terms, but hey, you might just impress your friends at your next Bible study. Ever shown up to a worship service expecting a rock concert? Yeah, me neither. But understanding theology can keep us from such mix-ups. It's like showing up to a football game expecting a ballet performance. It's not just about knowing the right moves, it's about understanding the game. Now let's dive into some practical examples of how understanding theology can impact your everyday life. Imagine you're at a family gathering and your cousin, who's quite the skeptic, starts questioning your faith. "Why do you believe in a triune God?" he asks with a smirk. Instead of fumbling for words or changing the subject, you calmly explain the concept of the Trinity. Your cousin is taken aback. He was expecting you to stumble, but instead, you've given him food for thought. That's theology in action, my friend. Or let's say you're facing a difficult decision and you're not sure what to do. You've prayed about it, but you're still uncertain. This is where theology can guide you. By understanding God's nature and His teachings, you can make decisions that align with His will. It's like having a divine compass guiding you through life's maze. Now, theology isn't just about defending your faith or making decisions. It's also about personal growth. Understanding theology deepens your relationship with God. It's like knowing your best friend's favorite ice cream flavor or your spouse's love language. The more you know about God, the closer you feel to Him, and that's a relationship worth investing in. So, how do we deepen our understanding of theology? Well, there are several pathways to explore. The first one is through Bible study. Now, I'm not talking about a quick read-through of your favorite verses. I mean diving deep, studying the context, and asking tough questions. It's like being a detective, searching for clues about God's character and His plan for humanity. Another pathway is through reading theological books. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "But those are so boring," let me assure you, not all theological books are created equal. Some are as gripping as a mystery novel, others as enlightening as a self-help book. So, don't dismiss them just yet. You might just find your next favorite read. Lastly, engage in church teachings. Attend Bible studies, join theology classes, participate in discussions. It's like going to the gym, but for your faith. The more you exercise your theological muscles, the stronger they become. But remember, theology isn't just about gaining knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge in your daily life. It's about shaping your actions, your decisions, your relationships, and even your work. It's about transforming your life from the inside out. It's about becoming a living testimony of God's love and grace. So next time you're at a rock concert, worship service, remember you're there for more than just the music. You're there to connect with God, to deepen your understanding of Him, and to live out your faith in a meaningful way. And that's theology in action. So you've made it this far without falling asleep or running for the hills. Kudos to you. You're either a theology nerd in the making or you just really enjoy my content. Either way, I'm glad you've stuck around. Now let's get to the heart of the matter. Why does theology matter? Think of theology as a roadmap. You wouldn't embark on a long journey without a map, would you? Likewise, our spiritual journey requires a guide. Theology, the study of God, helps us understand who God is, what He has done, and what He desires for us. It's not just an intellectual exercise, but a practical tool that shapes our worldview, informs our decisions, and deepens our faith. In an era where information is abundant and often conflicting, theology provides a firm foundation. It equips us to discern truth from falsehood, to navigate complex ethical issues, and to engage thoughtfully with different perspectives. It's our compass in a world that often feels like a stormy sea. Moreover, theology is not confined to the walls of a church or a seminary. It permeates our daily lives. It influences how we relate to others, how we handle stress, how we face challenges. It's not just about knowing God, but also about becoming more like Him. So, why not put your newfound theological knowledge to the test? The next time you're on a coffee break, ponder on the nature of the Trinity, or the significance of Christ's resurrection. Who knows, you might just start a thought-provoking conversation with a fellow coffee lover. Don't worry, we won't judge if you need to Google some big theological words. And remember, the next time you're at the Christian bookstore, theology books aren't just for coloring. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow us on our journey through history and theology on Instagram at Christianity.Unmasked, on X at Christianity82,002, as well as on Facebook and YouTube, all under Christianity Unmasked. Make sure to like and subscribe. This has been Christianity Unmasked, signing off.